Okay, for the introduction, I will share about the how can we reach the net zero emission of Indonesia in the strategic planning. Wait. Okay. I will start with the role of Indonesia emission strategic planning, and we know that the Jakarta now is very polluted, but we can see in the middle of time last year during the COVID-19 pandemic, we show that Jakarta had a blue sky. So this is the evidence that we need a clean air at Jakarta, and there is no traffic, so we can see how Jakarta can be healing, and then we can get the clean air in the different time. And now again we cannot see even a blue sky anymore, because it's a transmission going rapid, and then we just can see the gray sky. So you know that Jakarta has a very high rank on the polluted cities in the world. Talking about the outlook of energy in Indonesia, many institutions have some analysis, but we are all consider about the main supply of the energy in Indonesia. It's mostly contained from the coal and also a fossil fuel, and we know that the demand of the renewable energy now is increasing, and then the Indonesia have energy transition target for renewable energy especially is 23% in 2025, and then 31% at 2050, and then want to reach the net zero emission in 2070. So this is very ambitious target, but we must consider about how we can reach those targets. Many of the national state-owned company, such as PLN, as the electricity dominant industry, and then also Pertamina as a fossil fuel industry, but they are now considered about the new and renewable distribution and production of the electricity, and even sources. From this slide, we can see that the transportation sector and the industrial tech sector is the main supply of the emission. Thus, the government and many researchers must consider about these two sectors. So development of the how we can implement the new and renewable energy should be on the transportation sector and the industrial sector. My institution have already made some location that contained only renewable facility. We can see this is separate all of the Indonesia. Even we do the geothermal, not only solar cell. At in many locations, we have geothermal on Kamojang. We have geothermal in Lahindong. Also, we now trying to make a new geothermal facility together with Indonesia Power at Sibayak. And also we distribute the photovoltaic in many locations in Indonesia, especially for Sumba, Baron, and then we are also located at Serpong. This is our institution. And we now consider about how we can use the fuel cells and electrolyzer to combine the new and renewable energy. During this plantation, we know that not only BPPT doing this, but also the Ministry of Energy consider about the photovoltaic uses in Indonesia. They have also many locations of the photovoltaic, even on floating PV or in a big scale of implementation of the solar cell. So I will talk for the first session about the electric vehicle and the last session about the hydrogen, but mainly consider about the developing of the new and renewable energy and transportation. So as I mentioned before, the transportation and the industrial sector is a main contribution for the emission. For now, the electric vehicle being focused with the government, because we must reduce the emission on transportation. So Prof. Evi already established the Battery Institute. This is very good, because she always dreaming about this institute, right? And the consortium of the Indonesia contain battery, and also we do the charging, because battery and charging should be matched. So if we want to reduce the time charging, we must matching about the battery and also the charging. So talking about the position of BPPT, our agency is consider about the charging station. So we are focusing on this development. In this ecosystem of the electric vehicle, we focusing on the charging station and also transit motors and also battery recycling. How we can implement the implementation of the electric vehicle? The electric vehicle could be the most powerful vehicle in Indonesia, because now the electricity supply of PLN have been reached the maximum capacity, but is no demand. So it means that there is an excess of the electricity, especially in Java Island. About this ecosystem in electric vehicle, mostly we do the traction motor design and also the battery pack and charging station. Even for electric vehicle, we do collaboration with many institutions in Indonesia, especially for the university and also research institute and also the industry. So we will go into the more detailed activities. Since 2018, we delivered the fast charging station for the first time in Indonesia, and it accepted by many people, many association, industry. They are very excited about this fast charging station. So continuing from 2018 until now, we have several activities join with the taxi industry, also join with the online taxi industry, and also we do a convoy for the to increase the enthusiasm of people. So in the International Indonesia Electric Motor Show in 2019, it's very big event, and we take a look that the industry is considered to make to manufacture the electric vehicle in Indonesia. So after this, many stakeholders having an event for related with the electric vehicle, deliver the charging station and also deliver the new battery, or even in industry, we are there are several industries that increase motor and vehicle, electric vehicle. In 2020, especially my team has already developed the fast charging for 2 wheels and also developed the fast charging for 4 wheels. So now we are also want to develop the fast charging for a bus. The timeline of the fast charging development, we are now consider about the charging station type of AC, and then fast charger for DC type, and then charging for 2 wheels, and also the application that can coordinate all of the charging station. So if we want to manufacture the charging station, we must join with the industry. So we in Indonesia, we join with PT Land, that is a state-owned company that have already make as AC and DC converter. So this state-owned company can create and can develop the fast charging station. We want also to increase the local content. So we have this map is our local content analysis. If we can substitute each of the component, we can reach a more high local content. Talking about the development of the battery fast charging for battery for 2 wheels. So we join with Gesit. Gesit is one of the electric vehicle that now being popular in Indonesia. And I'm sorry, this is still in Indonesia. Okay. We now join with Gesit, and we have developed the rechargeable ion battery, but not making. We just take a stacking, and then we want to reduce the time charging for the 2 wheels. Before, we know that Gesit is must have 4 hours to charge. With the different battery packing, we can reach the charging only for 37 minutes. Sorry, 37 minutes. So at less than 1 hour, of course. So we will develop this system and then deliver to the industry that making the seat, and then they will change the design of the battery. So talking about the others perspective of the battery, we must need a plan that doing the battery recycling. So if some of our society now is spend so many lithium-ion batteries, and then we want to make this how we can make the recycle of the batteries, because now in Indonesia the battery recycle done by the international, so they send to the maybe to China and to other country to make to recycle. Yeah, so BPPT want to start making the design of the battery recycler. If we look at the life cycle of the lithium-ion battery, from the spent leaves, we can collecting this, and then we know that discharge and charge is different. Then Then we can separate into many parts, such as copper, aluminum, steel, well, plastic, even plastic, and then electrolyte. And then we need hydrometallurgy processes to get the nickel, cobalt, manganese, and so on. So we now we doing the oh, I'm sorry, this is the slide before the recycling. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is I talking about the Gesit battery packs that we substitute with a battery in Gesit, and then get very low charging time, especially for 30 minutes. So this is the process of the prototyping. So we already deliver this battery pack to the industry. Okay, back to the recycling process. We get the roadmap until 2024. We already have a literature study. Then for this year, we design. For last year, we designed and prototyping the battery pack. And then we design also the prototype material of lithium-ion battery for recycling, especially. We collaborate with the University of Gajah Mada and also the consortium of the battery and fast charging. For this year, because we have a prototype of battery pack fast charging, we now have a basic engineering design for battery recycling. Then after the next year, we will have a DED, detailed engineering design, and also we want to make a pilot project for battery recycling technology. Then we go up to the industrial scale on 2024. You know that the material development of the energy storage is various, but we concern about only LTO and NMC, because this type of the battery have advantages of the fast charging battery and zero stain, also have high conductivity and safety performance. This is the comparison for the prototype of fast charging battery pack. The LTO battery pack and NMC battery pack have a different specification, but we must consider we recommended the LTO to the Gesit, yeah, because this is already have a charging station below 1 hour. And then in the next one, we will recommend the NMC batteries, but now it's being processed with the industry. So these two type of battery would be matched for the fast charging system that we develop also in BPPT. This is just the example of the design of the recycling battery, the pre-treatment plan, also the hydrometallurgy process. But this design still being processed, still being debating, because you know, the recycling battery, if we want to make an industrial plan, we must setting the pilot first, and then make the, especially for hydrometallurgy, this is not easy, but we will try to have various of the battery, and then the various of the process of the hydrometallurgy. Well, we will wait until 2024. Yeah. Okay. That's the introduction of the electric vehicle, and the next one I will talk about the hydrogen implementation. So before the pandemic, you know that the digital society have been increased, and I believe that the next decade we will go for the clean technology. We will know the economy could be based on the hydrogen, not only fossil fuel based economy, but also we want to reach up the hydrogen economy. You know that the emission of the hydrogen is very low comparing to the others. Yeah. According to the role of the emission in Indonesia, we have already role of the policy. They state that the hydrogen can be used as energy storage and also as an energy resources for a vehicle. And the hydrogen can use as an alternative energy in Indonesia. This scenario would be make the contribution of the Indonesia national determined contribution to 29% in 2030. So Indonesia also committed to support the effort to control the increase of the global average temperature. We know that the emission reduction, it could be caused by 4 factors: the energy diversification, yeah. So we can use many types of the energy. And the second, the utilization of the clean coal for electrification generation. So the substitution of the energy used from fuel to natural gas also increase the emission. And then the energy conservation program in the upcoming years could be implemented, and then we must consider about the greenhouse gases emission. About the hydrogen, there is no fixed price for the hydrogen, because many of the sector, if I talk about the hydrogen, they're asking me about the price. The price of hydrogen is now decreasing. So we predicted that in 2025, the hydrogen price will fall into 1.5 euros. But right now in Japan, we know that the hydrogen price is around 1 euro or $1. Sorry, for 1 kilogram. So it depends on the policy of the government. But I believe that the price of the hydrogen will fall down. So talking about the hydrogen production, we know that the several process to make the hydrogen now in industry. We know that from the gas, from the coal. So I can start with this. So the resources to make the hydrogen, starting with coal and then starting with the natural gas, it's become a gray hydrogen and then become a brown hydrogen. Now in many industry, especially for natural gas, in Indonesia, the cheapest one in now is from the natural gas. It's using a steam reforming, and then we can get the hydrogen from this process. So if we do the capturing of CO2 to be injected on our injected back on the earth, so we can get the blue hydrogen. And then from the electricity grid, and also from renewable or even nuclear power, we can get the hydrogen also, especially if we can get the hydrogen from renewable, and then we use the electrolyzer, then we can get the green hydrogen. So many of the company now using want to accelerate the implementation of even green hydrogen or a blue hydrogen. And industrial sector, they are considered about the blue hydrogen. So if the industry or coal industry or natural gas industry doing the carbon capturing, they will get the carbon credit, right? Then they can got the blue hydrogen from this. In Indonesia, we can get the hydrogen from many resources. We have abundance of solar, and then we have also the biomass, and even we have a fossil fuel. There is we will do the carbon capture, as I mentioned before. So especially with the from renewable energy, if we want to use biomass, many biological routes and using the biorefinery, we can get the hydrogen. And then from these routes, we can deliver to the industry, and we can use in the transportation, or we can use in the agriculture. So I'm not only mentioned with the green hydrogen, but I will emphasize about the green hydrogen production. When we will use the green hydrogen? We know that renewable energy have intermittency if we're delivering the electricity to the grid. So we must make us this stable. You know, in the evening, the solar supply is huge. Then we storage in the battery from the photovoltaic. And then if we doing a big of the solar cell, talking about the more the scale of 1 mega or 2 mega, we must use the excess of the electricity to get another, to make a hydrogen storage to using the electrolyzer. And we are also have a combination of the renewable resources to stabilizing the grid. So the green hydrogen concept is how we can make the renewable electricity generation, then getting the electricity to an electrolyzer by pipelines maybe. Then we got the splitting of the water into the hydrogen and the oxygen gas. Then we will go to the, then we can use the hydrogen to the, go to the storage, and we use it until we want it, anytime. Then we can also sell the oxygen. During this pandemic, you know that the oxygen is lack in the market, right? So this system could be deliver oxygen whatever we want. And we will got the application, the uses of the hydrogen in many industry, such as a heavy industry and high temperature process, refinery, petrochemical, steel work, food and drink, also fertilizer, also if we want to make an ammonia and to use it directly into the rail, heavy logistic, and also long range of buses. This concept is supporting the decarbonization of the system in many industry, in chemical industry. Decarbonization of the hydrogen production is a really good route to make the zero emission of Indonesia. So we have experience since 2012. We're developing the PEM electrolyzer. It's called a proton exchange membrane electrolyzer. We're doing a prototype about 10 years ago, right? We are already implemented this system into the small scale. But in 10 years ago, many people in Indonesia do not know about this. So now, 10 years after, they already make from the German, from the Japan, they already make a protonation membrane electrolyzer in very big scale, and then show us how economic this system if we combine to the solar cell, wind turbine, and doing this for Indonesia. Well, we will increase the experience of ours in lab scale, but we want to make an industrial plan also to prove that the electrolyzer can be doing as a great energy storage in the system. Besides, we also produce the hydrogen from biomass. So not only we have experience to produce the hydrogen from electrolyzer from the water, but also from biomass. Indonesia have many palm oil mill effluent, especially in Sumatra. We are joined with the PTPN, is national state-owned company in Sumatra that doing palm oil industry. From the lab scale, we already reached a bed scale in 1 meter cubic, and for this year we want to increase into a 100 meter cubic of the hydrogen production from the biomass. So in our dream, hydrogen for the hydrogen that coming up from this system could be supplied to the industrial plant to substitute the internal combustion engine that use conventionally in this industry. The next chapter, I will talk about the hydrogen carrier. If we already produce the hydrogen, we must also thinking about how to distribute. From nowadays, there is a high pressure tank to distribute the hydrogen itself, but especially from compressed hydrogen in 350 megapascal and then 700 megapascal. But this compressed gas, it's not really difficult from the industry, but we must consider about the safety. So many researchers now thinking about how we can distribute the hydrogen in more safety ways. So we must consider about the liquid hydrogen, and then we know about methyl cyclohexane. This is the organic carrier, and why we cannot storage the hydrogen from by liquid ammonia. So these three types of the hydrogen carrier, from the 1, 2, 3, this type now is many industrial sector focus on this production. So we know that liquid hydrogen also already used in the transportation, but yeah, you know, the liquid hydrogen, the tank should be low from minus 253 degrees Celsius. This is very cold hydrogen, but if we warm up, we can get easy the hydrogen gas if we're doing in the room temperature. But if we use it at the transportation, we need a very big insulation in the pipeline. So not really popular, this system, if we do for the transportation. But I believe that we will we can get more density in the liquid to distribute the hydrogen to the industry. The other one from the others hydrogen carrier is liquid hydrogen. You know that methyl cyclohexane is the most efficient candidate as a liquid organic carrier, hydrogen carrier. And then ammonia also the good candidate also for the hydrogen carrier. Comparing to these two, it depends on the process and on the business. Somehow, some people say that the ammonia must have a very big efficient to transport as the hydrogen as an organic carrier, but we need a catalyst to explore to get the hydrogen from the ammonia. Talking about the methyl cyclohexane has firstly in the word supply by Brunei to Japan, and this is a very huge production in Brunei, and then they will supply to Japan as a liquid organic carrier of the hydrogen, and then Japan will distribute the hydrogen to the vehicle. This if we use the methyl cyclohexane, we are easily to transport comparing to the compressed gas, right? So this is already reached up the business scale. So this is not the this is a good business for the hydrogen transportation in the next future, but only the only Japan right now is really pay attention to the hydrogen economy, comparing also the Europe and US. Talking about the ammonia, as I mentioned before, ammonia is also being popular to be the hydrogen carrier in the process, but and now has been taking into account on the transportation, and also could be direct utilization in the industry. So this is one an example of the route of how we can get to produce the ammonia. And if we have the hydrogen from the renewable energy in the first process, we can got the green ammonia synthesis. In the last chapter, I will talking about the hydrogen-based vehicle development because we're talking about the energy storage. So we must know about the fuel cell vehicle in the world. Fuel cell vehicle not different from the electric vehicle, right? The electric they use the electric vehicle motors also. You know, we know about the hybrid electric vehicle, then we go to the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, also a battery electric vehicle, then we will get the fuel cell electric vehicle. Many of the company developing especially for the fuel cell electric vehicles such as Toyota and Honda and also Hyundai, yeah. The others from BMW and then from US also, they have a prototype, but go into the commercial one, just these three industry. So what is the advantages and disadvantages of the electric vehicle comparing to the hydrogen vehicle? We cannot choose this which one, but we must combine the uses of the electric vehicle and the hydrogen vehicle. The advantages of the electric vehicle now increasing because the energy density of battery and increasing, we can reach the range up to 500 kilometers. And but the disadvantages is time to refuel. We still get a very long time to refuel it. But comparing to the hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, now the range is only 400. But if we have more big hydrogen supply on board of the vehicle, we will get more distance range, even from now the champion claimed into more than 1,000 kilometers with the time review just only 3 minutes. So comparing to the time of refuel is the same as the petrol or diesel vehicle, right? So my opinion, when we use electric vehicle, it's suitable for the city car. If we can go further, it's more good. But the hydrogen fuel cells, if we go to the transportation sector, this is more useful if we go long distance in just one charge. So this is comparing of the efficiency of the charging station. So if we charge in the charging station, if we charge battery, we can charge, for example, 12 minutes, and then we can do the range of the charge 160 kilometers. But if we charge 5 minutes from the hydrogen station, we can got the range after charge for 500 kilometers. So this is the difference of the electric vehicle and the hydrogen vehicle. You see that if we go to the commercial, I believe that electric vehicle is very suitable for the city car, and the hydrogen vehicle go for the long distance, maybe good for the train or good for the long distance bus. Yeah, that is the application of the fuel cells vehicle. So I will show you. This is the example of the I'm riding the fuel cell Mirai, Clarity of the hydrogen. It is a refueling time just only 3 minutes, and then it takes 28 kilometers per liter the hydrogen. Well, the opportunity and the challenge of the electric vehicle based on battery and based on the hydrogen. The hydrogen, we still have challenge. How we still thinking about the requirement of the hydrogen refueling infrastructure. This is not easy. Japan do 1,000 hydrogen refueling station in very long time. Start from the 20 years ago, they're starting the refueling system infrastructure, and then can reach the huge of the infrastructure. And also it still need the government incentive, such as a luxury tax reduction and exemption, and very big investment. The hydrogen production now is still conventional, so we need to explore more green hydrogen. But the opportunity is the environmental friendly technology, and we also need for a safe and comfortable transportation. And the world is entering the hydrogen age. Introduction and promotion of the hydrogen society and many international events. This is the opportunity to accelerate the people to know the hydrogen implementation. And Indonesia, from the Ministry of Industry, they are already mentioned about the implementation of fuel cell vehicle from 2030. So we hope that in 2030, vehicle technology of fuel cell could be delivered in Indonesia. So to accelerating this roadmap, we know that in several years ago, we are already starting to make a fuel cell. Just you are all making a battery. This is the same one, the fuel cells. But the difference is the electrochemical reaction inside that. The fuel cells can we can get the electricity from the reaction of the hydrogen and oxygen from the air, and then it just passed through the electrolyte. It's just like a battery, but we can have water from the electrochemical process, and then we can get the electric power. So a fuel cell is a devices that generate power by combining fuel and hydrogen. The fuel could be the hydrogen, could be a methanol, could be any type of the resources. Then we can get different types of the fuel cell. The electricity output will be generated continuously as long as there is an incoming feed. Oh, sorry. This. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. I will tell you the little bit history from 2006. We delivering how to manufacture the fuel cells by stacking the membrane, the catalyst, the cathode layer inside the fuel cells, and then we stacking the fuel cells from just only 30 watt until 2.5 kilowatt. And we also my team, I have a big team here since 2006. They also making the hydrogen, not only a fuel cell, and also proof the hydrogen, but even from biomass and even from a water electrolyzer, just I mentioned before. This is the example of our fuel cells development. We can reach the 2.5 kilowatt of fuel cells. From now until 2020, we enrich the technology readiness level for fuel cell. Then we can got the implementation of the fuel cell in society. This is one of example of our team. They're doing also not only PEM electrolyzer, a proton exchange membrane electrolyzer. Before I mentioned you the fuel cells. This is the proton exchange membrane electrolyzer. I'm sorry, proton exchange membrane fuel cell that could be run in the room temperature. But this solid oxide fuel cell that doing by our team in Material Research Center, they using this SOFC in 600 and 800 degree, and they get a very high density of the fuel cells using the material of the zirconium and using the nano particle of the zirconium as the electrolyte piece. For the next, our roadmap of fuel cells and hydrogen technology, we want to have the hydrogen filling station in 2024, so we can got to prove that the hydrogen concept, it could be one of the alternative energy and transportation. This is our example, our prototype since 2009. So our motorcycle, fuel cell motorcycle, has already worked for 12 years. We put 500 watt of fuel cells, and then we put nickel metal hydride of hydrogen storage. It contains 740 liters, and then the hydrogen consumption is 1 liter per kilometer. Then we can got the, in one charge, we can got 750 kilometers. You can use our motorcycle at Serpong. We are welcome you, all of the student, all of the industry. Please come to our facility in Serpong. Last one, I will show you the hydrogen vehicle developed in last year, and we use the just 1 kilowatt of PEM fuel cell. That this is our team. They're doing in the lab in the laboratory. We are welcome of the many students joined to us. And this is the example of the fuel cell electric car modification. From this diagram, we can see the fuel cell controller, and then we can see the hydrogen go inside the fuel cells, and then there is also a battery for backup bank, and then this electric motor is 72 volt. That fuel cells control should be setting by this voltage. So you can see this is running very well, and from here, yeah. There is no sound also. It's just a like electric vehicle, but we can get the range more long, yeah, long distance. So we also developing using the PEM fuel cells is more big, 2.5 kilowatt of fuel cells. We combine with photovoltaic in this golf car. We taking out the battery of the electric golf car, and then we setting up the fuel cells 2.5, and then we also use photovoltaic at here. We want to study how photovoltaic or the electric system could be charged and discharged in the golf car. Well, that is our activity in BPPT. So please welcome. And the last one, I just want to show you that implementation of the fuel cells is already used as a backup power at base transmission station. And for nowadays, in 2020, we have already more than 800 sites of BTS in Indonesia use fuel cells. This is our dream, my dream, or especially if Indonesia have a Trans-Sumatra highway. So in Aceh we have several. Well, in Sumatra we have several LNG plant or several gas resources. We can convert it into hydrogen, and then we can pass through this Sumatra in just one charge. So this is why we can we're not making the hydrogen highway in our country. The summary, we can go to the summary. Well, back to the net zero emission, the coal decarbonization should be done in Indonesia. We want the government set up the carbon capture regulation in all industry, and then we need the establishment of a co-firing regulation in palm oil mill effluent. And the third one, the use of hydrogen gas in all coal processing by using blue and green hydrogen. So we can reduce the emission in the industry and even in transportation. I do agree with Indonesia could push down the CO2 emission by developing the electric vehicle transportation and developing the power generation from renewable, and then developing the green hydrogen or CO2 capture in the industry. Then Indonesia also need more attention to the green hydrogen for industrial application. We now have already a biodiesel program. Biodiesel need a hydrogen, so hydrogen should become from a green one. And then now the government of Indonesia make a big methanol production plant in Bintuni. It's also considered about the green, the hydrogen production if we want to make methanol. And also we want to that chemical industry in Indonesia grow with the green technology. So the last one is not build a new coal power generation in 2025. It should be done with our government, so we can reach the net zero emission in 2070. From the audience here, I want you to join the Indonesia Fuel Cell and Hydrogen Energy. Please join us, and we will get some more information and networking on hydrogen economy and hydrogen surrounding infrastructure. This is just our complimentary, because BPPT have new and renewable energy technopark only. This is located at Yogyakarta, and this is still free of charge. If you want to use it, you can see the application of the fuel cell in that, and you can see the many students coming up to our Baron Technopark for educational tours. And you can see that Gazebo and Technocap is welcome you. This is free of charge. You can see the wind turbine, and also you can see the sundial. So please go to the amphitheater also. You can use this facility for free. So just call me. Thank you for listening, and for this time being. I'm also thanks to Professor Evi to invite me. I hope this the event could reach up our knowledge more wider. Thank you.